career. We saw the 2 games the Lakers have won in this series. Anthony Davis was phenomenal. 34 points, 11 rebounds in both games. LeBron, without a second star, has not beaten a team this good since 2007 when he beat Detroit, the bad boys, the remix, I called him, with Rasheed Wallace, Chauncey Billups, and all those guys, to get to the finals against San Antonio. He was 22 years old. But since then, LeBron's typically had a second superstar with him. And when he hasn't, 2 years ago in L.A., they didn't even make the playoffs. And he was injured, obviously, but came back. They were 8-13 when he came back. This season, in February and March, when AD got hurt, before LeBron got injured, they were just 7-7. So it's just asking a lot of LeBron against this team. Some first-round opponents you'll beat, but this is an odd year where you're facing the second-best team in the West as far as record. And if you look at the top 4 players without AD, 3 of them are on Phoenix: Booker, Ayton, and Chris Paul, now that he seems to be getting back to health. So I think it's too much to ask. Yesterday, LeBron's the only Laker to score more than 12 points. He's the only starter with a positive plus-minus. Here's what I'll give them. The one chance they have of beating Phoenix without AD is that they have to go back to the way LeBron's played most of his career, where he's the system. Like this year, he's been fitting in more. He's been a part of the system. He's off the ball more. There's a lot of possessions. He doesn't touch the ball. He's shooting more jump shots. For them to have a chance, he has to go back to dominating the ball, bringing the ball up court, and creating opportunities for himself and his teammates. When he's the system, it can sometimes be a challenge when he's got a second superstar like AD, Kyrie, or Dwayne Wade. But when he's the system, it's the best way for them to play when he's surrounded by role players. And that's why he did it in Cleveland, and he made them a great team, even though they couldn't win the championship before he went to Miami. And he did it in 2015. Remember, that's why they gave Golden State a good series and took them to 6 games without Kevin Love and Kyrie, because LeBron was controlling tempo, controlling everything. I don't know if he can do it for 40 minutes at age 36 anymore. But that's the only chance they have of beating Phoenix without Anthony Davis.
I agree, but the thing was that when he was in Cleveland, they understood their roles. Nobody thought they should have been an all-star. Nobody was trying to get max dollars. So you telling me Schroeder's going to be okay with that? Kyle Kuzma thinks he's Brandon Ingram or Julius Randle. He sees the young talent. Everybody that started with the Lakers have made an all-star. You look at D'Angelo Russell. He's been an all-star. Brandon Ingram, he's been an all-star. Julius Randle, he's been an all-star. 2 of the 3 has won most improved player. Jordan Clarkson just won 6th man of the year. So how do you think Kuzma sees himself? I can do that. And what's he do? He come in there and F it up every time he get in the ball game. I already know when he come in there, he on some bull jive.
Not every time.
Yeah, just about every time. More times than not, he monkey it up, Skip. You know it. You love it, too. The thing is, he's going to have to ice those shoulders up, and I agree with you. And the problem is this is what he's running to his entire career, Chris, is that when he goes to the bench. What do they do when he goes to the bench? Who can initiate the offense consistently without turning it over? Okay, they might make 1 good pass, but then they have 2 turnovers to cancel that out. Schroeder played unbelievable game 3. He beat MIA in game 4. So for me, he's just going to have to go back and you know, I just hope they can just hold on. I don't think AD's coming back. Even if they get past this round, I'm not picturing AD come back and skip it. I used to tell you this all the time. You limp into the season, you limp out of it. You limp into the playoffs, you limp out of it. And that's what happened with AD. So I don't envision him coming back, but LeBron is going to have to end up getting up probably 17, 18 shots in the first half. He might need to be somewhere around 35 shots for a ball game and be efficient in order for him to have a chance. But I wouldn't doubt him. If I had, you know, I got a little money, I'm going to roll with him.
Would you?
I'm rolling with him, yeah.
Huh. Phoenix by 4.5 tomorrow night.
Give me the points. I'll take it right now. I like it. 2 cases right now.
I'm not doing it. I told you, I expect LeBron to play huge, to have broad shoulders tomorrow night.
We're icing them shoulders as we speak, Chris, so we can hold up on Atlas. LeBron Atlas James, they call it.
Okay. My turn. Here's the irony of what you two just said. Would you believe, this got overlooked, that the GOAT, LeBron James, GOAT James, as I hear again and again and again and again and again from across the table, GOAT James actually had his scapegoat at halftime yesterday, but the scapegoat got hurt. And that was AD. He was 2 of 9 in the first half and 0 of 3 from 3 and scored a grand total of 6 points with 4 rebounds. And I know what was about to happen this morning on this show. You would have come in and been all over AD. Where were you? You disappeared again.
Oh, game 1? You saw him in game 1. Did you saw him in game 2?
That's legitimate, right?
Yeah.
Yep, okay.
He's
By
a
the way,
superstar.
speaking of game 1, in the fourth quarter of game 1 at Phoenix, with Chris Paul playing or trying to play with one arm, LeBron went 1 of 4 from the field, 1 of 4 from 3, and 1 of 4 from the free throw line. It's just not good enough.
Nah,
and that was a shameful loss to start with, and so that's what put them in the hole that they're in right now. So back to Chris Broussard. LeBron James right now, just for the big picture, over the 4 games, is shooting 9 of 28 from 3. That's 32%, and that's not good enough, and that's too many. From the free throw line, your man LeBron James is 10 of 17 over the 4 games. Well, that's 59%, which isn't good enough, but the crucial point here is, the crucial number is the 17. He's attempted only 17 free throws in 4 games. That's barely over 4 a game. And for his playoff life, for his playoff career, he's averaged 9 free throws a game. He is not getting to the free throw line. I believe it's because he's getting more and more afraid of himself at the free throw line, but they cannot keep him from the basket. So tomorrow night, and I appreciate Chris bringing it up, I brought it up earlier in the show, I want to see 2015 Finals LeBron. That was the most spectacular 3 games of his career. And again, Kyrie got hurt at the overtime of game 1, and Kevin Love was already gone.
Yep.
So he has to play with 2 hands tied behind his back. He didn't have either co-star, and he was unstoppable. Nobody. He dribbled the ball up the floor. He dribbled it to death, but he nearly dribbled Golden State to death.
Right.
Because he had them in a hole. They're up 2-1 with game 4 in his house. And then it reversed from there on. Iguodala get it inserted in the starting lineup. Right. He started guarding LeBron, and you know the rest of the story. He became the MVP of the series. But tomorrow night, if he's still, quote-unquote, GOAT James, the best player on the planet, he should rise above this game. Jay Crowder cannot guard him. Even Ayton cannot keep LeBron James from getting to the rim. He's still the greatest driver of the basketball I've ever seen. So right now, the stage is set for him to have one of those epic games. What's the big one? Game 6 of 2012, right?
Yeah.
2012 at Boston. It was sensational. That was coming off his disappearance in the finals of 2011. And I know a lot of the reporters, I know even Chris was a little skeptical, like, wow, but you better do it this time. And he did it.
Yeah.
Well, now you better do it this time. And I believe he will, because I believe Chris, he's played almost 40 more playoff games than the entire Phoenix roster. So you can write that off as he's just getting old, or you can chalk it up as he's just too experienced.
I'm giving Ben McLemore. How about give Ben McLemore? He's the only guy that can really make the 3. So I'm going to let Ben McLemore play. I know he's not a skip a defender, but you need some guys that can make some shots when they collapse down on LeBron. Go ahead, Chris.
That's absolutely right. Like, you look at those Cleveland teams, whether it's 2015, 2018, remember when they played Golden State in the finals and he had the 51 points in game 1 and all that. He was surrounded by shooters. And the Lakers aren't great shooters. They can get hot, they can be streaky, and they're going to have to be hot because, like I said, LeBron's got to dominate the ball. They got to probably play slow, run opportunistically, but play slow for the most part, rely on their defense. I think he can get Andre Drummond going, get him some buckets at the basket in the high pick and roll or in the pick and roll, and then have the shooters. They're